Interstate relations between the United States and Belarus began in 1991 upon the dissolution of the Soviet Union, of which Belarus had been a part. However, the relations have turned sour due to accusations by the United States that Belarus has been violating human rights. Belarus, in turn, has accused the United States of interfering in its internal affairs. In 2008, Belarus recalled its ambassador from Washington and insisted that the ambassador of the United States must leave Minsk. According to the 2012 U.S. Global Leadership Report, only 20% of Belarusians approve of U.S. leadership, with 30% disapproving and 50% uncertain. The fourth lowest rating for any surveyed country in Europe. On the 25th of December 1991, the United States recognized the independence of the Republic of Belarus, and on the 28th of December, Belarus and the United States established diplomatic relations. On the 31st of January 1992, the U.S. Embassy was officially opened in Minsk. In 1993, the Embassy of Belarus was opened in Washington. Prime Minister of Belarus Vyacheslav Kebich received visiting U.S. Secretary of State Warren Christopher on the 26th of October 1993, promising new presidential elections. On the 15th of January 1994, U.S. President Bill Clinton visited Minsk on a 6-hour state visit, following a recent visit to Moscow and acting as a preceding a visit to Switzerland. It was considered to be a thank you visit after Belarus agreed to transfer their Soviet nuclear stockpile to Russia. He was received by Chairman Stanislav Shushkevich at Minsk National Airport, after which Clinton laid a wreath on Victory Square and met with youth in the Academy of Sciences, as well as visited Kurapati. Clinton, as well as First Lady Hillary Clinton and their daughter Chelsea, also met children suffering from illnesses during a visit to Pediatric Hospital No. 4. The United States has encouraged Belarus to conclude and adhere to agreements with the International Monetary Fund on the program of macroeconomic stabilization and related reform measures, as well as to undertake increased privatization and to create a favorable climate for business and investment. Although there has been some American direct private investment in Belarus, its development has been relatively slow given the uncertain pace of reform. An overseas private investment cooperation agreement was signed in June 1992 but has been suspended since 1995 because Belarus did not fulfill its obligations under the agreement. Belarus is eligible for Export-Import Bank short-term financing insurance for U.S. investments. But because of the adverse business climate, no projects have been initiated. In early September 2001, the United States condemned Belarus for having irregularities in the recent election, causing Alexander Lukashenko to be re-elected. However, this criticism was short-lived, as the United States came under the September 11, 2001 attacks 2 days later. During Operation Iraqi Freedom, several American intelligence agencies accused Belarus of providing a safe haven for the deposed leader, Saddam Hussein, and his sons, Uday and Qusay. The only evidence that was presented was a cargo flight from the Iraqi capital of Baghdad to the Belarusian capital of Minsk, documentation of which was found after the capture of the Baghdad airport in April 2003. While some sources said that Lukashenko was close to Saddam and Saddam had thought about leaving Iraq to go to Belarus, Saddam was found in Iraq in December 2003 and his sons were killed in Iraq a few months earlier. Belarus-US relations were further strained after Congress unanimously passed the Belarus Democracy Act of 2004, which the Belarusian government believes interferes with Belarusian internal affairs. Following the 2006 Belarusian presidential election, U.S. introduced sanctions against Belarus individuals and companies for the actions and policies to undermine Belarus democratic processes or institutions, manifested most recently in the fundamentally undemocratic March 2006 elections, to commit human rights abuses related to political repression, including detentions and disappearances, and to engage in public corruption including by diverting or misusing Belarusian public assets or by misusing public authority. The assets of said persons and companies in the US are frozen and transactions with them are prohibited. The sanctions list, as of January 2017, contains the following persons. The list of the companies sanctioned includes Belsina, Belneftekim, Polotsk Steklovolokno, Grodno Azo, Naftan and others. One of the few bilateral events during this period in relations was the visit to Minsk by the United States Air Forces in Europe band in May 2015, where they performed at the Brest Fortress in the 2015 Minsk Victory Day Parade in honor of the 70th anniversary of the defeat of Nazism. On August 29, 2019, former National Security Advisor John Bolton met with Lukashenko in Minsk to discuss improving relations between the two countries. On 1 Feb.